Hey guys, we're back.
And with virtual backgrounds. I'm Sarika.
I'm Nitya, and today we're going to be talking to you guys about MVC, also known as Model View Control. So, what exactly is Model View Control? Model View Control is a way to organize your computer science IDE to make it more easily accessible and easy to work with. And you can do this by dividing it into packages, which we're going to show you later on in this video. So first we're going to start off by showing you some components of UI, and UI is the user interface. So we're going to show you a little mini lab that you can do to kind of play around with the user interface and try everything out and get comfortable with it. So I'm going to start screen sharing right now. So I'm going to run our portfolio right now. So I'm going to click on labs, and then I'm going to click on calculator because that's what we're going to be working with today. And then this will pop up. So this is our little mini calculator, and it just does some simple functions like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. But the main purpose of this mini lab is just to get comfortable with creating user interfaces with buttons, text, etc. So I can just try it out for you guys right now. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So you can do that with adding, subtracting, all the different functions. So how do we exactly create this user interface, you might ask? So we did this by using a tool called Window Builder, which creates kind of the framework for the UI. So first you have to kind of install Window Builder, so you can just kind of Google it and then it'll come up. But we already have it installed right now, so I'm just going to show you how we used it in Calculator. So when you're making user interfaces, you want to name all those files, whatever the topic is, and then UI, because it'll make them easier to differentiate. So this is the source code for our calculator UI. And as you can see, it first sets the frame of the user interface, and then it includes all the buttons, text, everything like that. So this might look kind of complicated, but there's a much easier way to go about this. And this is by using Window Builder, as I just talked about it. So if you already have it installed on your computer, you can just right click on whatever file you want to open with it and then open with, and then it should be Window Builder. So I already have it open. So I'm just going to click down here where it says source, and then next to it, it says design. So if I click on design, I can see the calculator right here, and it makes it much easier to work with because I'm able to select buttons, and then it lays everything out here for me, like whatever I need. There's buttons, toggles, labels, etc. So I don't have to actually like code everything into the source code. So that's what's great about this application, is it lets you create user interfaces pretty easily. So user interfaces are a huge component of what we're talking about today, which is MVC, model view control, and user interfaces are the view part of that. So how can we organize our projects into MVC? So we do this by organizing our entire project into packages, and they look kind of like this. And you can just create a new package by clicking on here and then new package. I'm not going to do that right now because I already have plenty of packages. So you organize them into control, model, and view. So control has all the actual code, which is like logic code. Model has kind of the frameworks or just methods, kind of like for our AP exam lab, we have like question.java, which just kind of has like a template framework type of thing. So it just models the code. And then view control is all of the UI classes. As you can see here, we have AP UI, calculator UI. These are some of the various mini labs we did throughout the year. So you keep all of those in here. So MVC helps us to better organize our workspace. So then we can access the files more easily and everything's kind of separated. You don't have UI in the logic code or logic code in the UI. So that's basically all there is to say about UI. But one more thing is, for this calculator lab, an exploration that you might want to do is creating different algorithms on the calculator instead of just adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. So you could do this by adding a quadratic formula or the Pythagorean theorem, or any other formulas you can think of. It'll really help you gain a more complex understanding of the UI and linking the logic in the control packages with the UI. So that's basically all I have for model view control, and Sarika will now be talking to you guys about linked lists.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about linked lists. And linked list is basically another type of data structure. You know how we have like array list? It's pretty similar. So a linked list, the notable thing is that you have all these elements that are called nodes. And basically, each node has like a previous, and then it has a pointer. So each thing points to the next, and that's why it's called like a linked list. And then it holds data in it. So let's just do a demo of a file here. So we have our linked list class. This is like the starter class, or like the driver class that holds like the information. So we use an object, and you go to the previous or the next node, and you can insert and remove stuff, and you can get the contents, like the object of the previous, or get the contents or the object of the next. So like setting it. So we're going to do, so there's basically two types of data structures that work with linked lists, and there's a circle queue. So a circle queue basically like goes from top down, and then a stack goes from the other way. So it's the inverse of like a circle queue, but they both essentially like loop through. So we're just going to demo how you can do it on the console, and then how you can do it with a GUI. So if you see here, stack. So if you see our stack demo here, you can see it pushes, so it's adding new elements to our stack. So if you see, it's doing BA instead of AB. So if we did a circle queue, it would be the other way around. So then after you're done pushing everything, it goes from Z to A instead of A being first. And then when it pops, a pop is when it takes off the top element of the stack, and it keeps going until you just get back to A. And once you pop A, that gives you an empty list. On the other hand, our circle queue, so if we run our demo, it does A, A, B. So it's like going top down. So this is our complete list of elements. And then when we delete, it'll delete A instead of deleting Z. So, and then we're left back with it. So we don't start and end at the same thing. So an example of this is I made this thing where you can, it basically like uses a stack. So you can either use a circle queue or a stack, and you're gonna want to add or remove stuff. So you can enter data about your object, and then you can add. So that's like building it up. So that's your pushing in the stack. And let's just add another one for reference. And I'll add one with my name too. Right, and then this remove is like me popping it from the stack. So now it's going to remove it. And then when I show the whole player list, I'm not on it. And I can add myself back. And the total player count is now 3 because my name is on here. So that's just an example of what you can do with a linked list. And we encourage you to explore beyond it and like try to sort with your linked list. That would be a step you could take, and then try to implement both the circle queue and the stack. So hopefully you guys learned something about model view control and linked list today, and we'll see you around.
Bye, guys.